The time is now.
You are listening to NUFC Talk Radio, the voice of the Toon Army. Live daily on the website, on YouTube, and on every online radio directory. NUFC Talk, the voice of the Toon Army.
Hey.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Good morning. How are you? Good afternoon. Well, good morning still. Yeah, good morning. In the UK, it is 9:47 a.m. in the UK, ladies and gents. This is NUFC Talk live here with the Mighty Win. Phone in now. We're going to be reacting to Eddie Howe's press conference. Calling now and have your say. 0191-916-8864 if you choose to. Let us know as well what you think. The big question is, what should Newcastle United do for ahead of this match against Bournemouth for the FA Cup? Eddie Howe very adamant, very keen to keep going forward, to actually take this cup serious, and it makes me believe that he's going to put all the meat on the grill for this one. And we got another match on Tuesday, but it is what it is. Listen, Eddie Howe today in the presser, he seemed like you know what? We're going to get it done. We're going to go out there and look for it and go and try to win that, which is exactly what I want from a manager. I have ambition to try to go and get that, that FA Cup is certainly needed. Don't forget to smash the like button, folks. If you are just joining us, please do so right now. Don't forget, smash that like button. And of course, become a member if you can. Enjoy exclusive content. If you were refunded your last payment due to price changes, we've only gone from $2.99 to $4.99. That is it. The only tier that we have. We listen to our members, and we certainly did just that. We have a few updates for you here, so stay tuned. We're probably going to wait until we get more people coming in, because there's a change in this new year that we're going to talk about, of course. But either way, we're going to be discussing the latest topics, especially what Eddie Howe left us on this presser. Just reminding you of what you get if you sign up for NTTV Plus, which is the only tier that we got. If you sign up as a member right now, of course you get your loyalty. Turn that crap off, man. Of course you get your loyalty, your emojis, but you also get the player rating show after every match. You join the every NUFC match prediction tournament every season for every Newcastle United match. You also get another show, Once Upon a Time podcast. You get the journal insight from journalists giving you the insight on whatever's going on with Newcastle United. And of course, you get to enjoy every single thing on demand, live and on demand, of course, here on NUFC Talk. So please consider becoming a member. NTTV Plus, hit the join button and become a member now. Good morning, everyone out there in the chat. Good morning, one and all, ladies and gents. How are you, Mighty Win?
I am as well as I ever am, getting up at this unearthly hour of the morning.
You are knackered, to say the least, man. You are knackered. A quick update on what's going on now. So, as you know, we've been doing the live pressers for a long time now. And the club knew about it, of course. The club has known about it this whole time. For some people wondering if that's the case, what's going on? How dare they? The club knew all along that we were doing live pressers, and of course we were adding our reaction to it. It just happens that this year we've been emailing back and forth with the club, and it is the decision now this year that we're gonna stop doing the live pressers, and we respect the club's decision. Of course, we fully comply with everything the Newcastle United Football Club has to, whatever direction they want to take. All we can say is that we are thankful for Newcastle United Football Club to have let us done the pressers for as long as they have. They didn't have to do that at all. It was we paid no fees. They had, I don't know if they value any gain, from, I don't know, but clearly they had no gain. Therefore, we're very appreciative of Newcastle United and everything that they've let us do. And it just happens that, unfortunately, this year, we won't continue to do that. So, but we maintain a loyal and appreciative to Newcastle United. And as far as this channel is concerned, the fact that this channel has been very critical of certain situations, the fact that this channel has been never biased or never said, because we get to the pressers, we're gonna just happy clap. Some do that, by the way, but not everybody. We happy clap and say what the club say. No, they have never done anything to say you should do this, you should do that. They maintain freedom of speech at Newcastle United. You've seen it as of late on the press conferences when journalists have been asked, certain different questions, tough questions to the manager. So that's they keep going, and of course they should. Freedom of speech reigns at this stage, and I couldn't say that about the old Newcastle of Mike Ashley, by the way, and the Bruce era, getting players, getting what do you call journalists out of the pressers. Craig Hope would know about this. Win, you want to say something?
Do you want to go through what he said this morning, bit by bit?
We can do that, but we're not gonna let you bore people to death. So, give us an initial quote, and then we can get to it. What are the best takes?
First question was Fabian Schar, and he said it's not as bad as it first looked. It's definitely ligaments. It's not a bone break, and that they are confident he'll be back before the end of the season, but they are awaiting a specialist's report.
Well, as you said, the Fabian Schar is a big deal. He's, regardless of how you want to paint it, he's not going to play for a long time. No. Again, I reiterate what I said yesterday. I don't think Newcastle will. It's kind of. They're not going to hang him out to dry, man. They're going to say, look, that's it. No. They're not going to do the mighty win. What a way to go out, mate. Stretched out the game. What a way to go out, buddy. You did. It's a legend. You didn't even get to walk out, but you did great. No, man, they're not going to do that. They're going to give him another year, I would expect. And to be fair, he has earned that this year.
He's earned that since he arrived at the club.
No, but you get the point, man. You got to go when you get to a certain age, you got to go year by year basis. And if he was absolutely awful, and then you would say, man, well, let's give him another year. But we know we're knackered anyway. No, he's actually played. He's actually performed. He's actually been in charge.
From awful.
That's what I'm saying. So Newcastle can actually use on-pitch performances to say, look, let's give him another year. So which is exactly what Well,
then that went on to a supplementary about centre back shortage in general across the squad, which he said wasn't ideal, but they still had options. And just to miss a couple of questions, because he was then asked by a different journal, was Lewis Miley. Did he consider Lewis Miley to be one of those options? And where did he see Lewis Miley's long-term future? Which he said he saw his long-term future in midfield. Thank goodness for that. But he said he's happy to play, and I will play him anywhere. And this was the interesting bit. As long as he feels comfortable with it. Which kind of harks back to the Anthony Gordon situation, does it not? Where everybody's going on about Gordon refusing to play on the right and all that, which he never did. Eddie just said he doesn't enjoy playing on the right, so I think it's best for the team if he plays on the left. And that's pretty much what he's saying about Miley. Miley will play wherever he wants, as long as Miley is comfortable with it. But he definitely saw his future at midfield, although in training, he has trained more as a centre-back than as a right-back. But look at the performances he's put in at right-back, said Eddie. And it was a positive surprise to him how well he has performed at right-back. Said he would have probably expected him to play better at centre-back because he's trained there a lot more. But it just goes to show what a fantastic player he is.
Well, here's the thing. Lewis Miley is a fantastic player. He's probably got he's got an extreme he's got a very bright future. And that is something that we haven't seen in a long time, especially being a Geordie. So, matter of fact, I'm going to go on a limb. Ooh, I'm going to go on a limb.
I know where you're going.
And I'm going to say, I don't know if you know where I'm going. I don't think you might. This is the greatest. He is the greatest. How can I put it? He is the greatest. Let me be careful, He's the greatest prospect talent that we've ever seen in Newcastle United since Gaza. Say,
Proves it, wangers.
Since Gaza, baby. Look at that, man.
Get up your mind, man.
Mighty winning in the American mag, doing the telepathy here, man. That is good stuff. But to be honest, I have not seen. I'm talking about a footballer talent. You can get into these certain things about goal scoring. Of course, no Geordies and Schar probably again. Carroll was good. I mean, as far as prospect is concerned, he was good. But Chopra, Obi, but other than that, other than the Macam. But the thing is, as far as a footballer is concerned, he's the greatest thing we've seen since Gaza, man. And that is a lot to say. That is a lot to say.
Okay,
or poor, since we've been knackered this whole time.
I've when he's played before, and everybody's come on raving about him, and I've been playing it down and playing it down and playing it down and being accused of knocking him and all. Nothing could be further from the truth. I just don't want that type of hype to affect his.
Well, that hype is going to be there, though. No matter what, the hype is going to be there.
But let's not stoke it, is what I'm saying. I think Miley's fantastic.
He is, and
But I'm not gonna come out after every game and say, he was man of the match, even if he was.
I have never said that. I said he's man of the match a few times. We got a caller that we can ask this question though. Paul from Pompy calling us now, all the way. I'm gonna assume. Everything is down south from Newcastle, so yeah, down south.
It's very south.
That's a safe. Unless you're living
there. You can't get any further south. He's been on before, Paul. He's right on the Paul. English channel.
Yeah, I've been.
Paul, how are you, mate? Good morning.
Been on before. I just wanted to ask you guys a question.
Go on.
I love the channel, by the way. I work nights, and
have you become a member yet?
Sorry?
Have you become a member yet? You're not a member, man.
I'm a gifted member.
There you go. Well, what's your name on there? Because I didn't see a poll. So, but anyway, either way, consider renewing your membership. Man. Consider.
Yeah, I will definitely will do. I watch you all at work when I'm on night shift. And
thank you, buddy. Thank you.
But yeah, the question I wanted to ask you, because where is Lewis Miley's best position? Do you think he's a 6 defensive midfielder or an attacking midfielder? Because I think he can do both.
Well, he can do both, but he's a holding midfielder. I'm not going to say a defensive midfielder. He's a defensive midfielder. He's a holding midfielder. He's a number 6. He's right. He can get in between the center forwards. He can do the old school job of, which by the way, old school is not really old school because you can see Conte is doing that. And then you got Patrick Vieira did that a little bit farther back. Yaya Toure was unbelievably he could be between the center backs. He could attack. That's why I think he's really the greatest talent since Gaza, because he can do all of that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he's gifted, but like Wynn said, we don't want to put too much pressure on him.
Yeah, that's but right. That comes with him, man. He's going to have to deal with pressure, man.
He will eventually, but he's 19, man. He's 19. I think at 19. I was probably. Well, I don't even want to say what I was doing at 19, but yeah, he's got a level head on his shoulders as well, and I think he's a
actually
top tier talent. And
actually, Paul, just to jump slightly ahead, Eddie was asked later on, because after the Bournemouth game, when we played Bournemouth the last time, he didn't have such a good game, and he was subject to a load of online abuse after the game for being rubbish.
I don't think that's from our fans, Win. I really don't.
Well, it could have been some of those.
Well, it could have been some of the nuggets. But anyway,
I think you can.
He was asked. Eddie was asked Eddie was asked how he'd handled that, and he did say, it goes with it. That sort of thing goes with the territory, and he handled it extremely well. He wasn't affected at all, and of course the club looked after him during that period. So just
I don't think any genuine Newcastle fan would insult any player. Like, I'm not Anthony Gordon's biggest fan. I know you are, Win. I know you are, but I wouldn't go on his social media account and start slating him. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. Yeah, that is weird. That is, especially when he was actually accomplishing something that time. I can't remember what actually, but he was accomplished something. He around that match.
He did nothing wrong. He just posted. It's just social media is toxic. I think players should stay away from it. Yeah. And Joe Willock had it recently as well, didn't he? It's just ridiculous.
And but the thing is, when you are a footballer like this, and Eddie Howe spoken today, that there are things sometimes you got to deal with, and it's part of it, really. Not saying that you justify certain things from certain people, not at all.
Criticism's okay, but abuse and things like that, and that's just taking it too far. But yeah, it's good. I'm still buzzing from the result of the other night. It's unbelievable. I was watching it at work. I'm a forklift driver, and I was meant to be working. I had up my phone, the football. And then I watched back your commentaries and match reactions to it as well, and it was just brilliant. I was just consumed all the content I could get, and it was amazing.
Jordy Dan says, I think the abuse messages mostly aren't from fans. They are gamblers that lost money. That makes a lot of sense.
It probably is. It's probably true. It's probably true. It's probably true. Yeah. It wouldn't. I mean, I get upset when we lose, and I think Gary said last week that he yo-yos a bit with the Eddie in, Eddie out thing. That's definitely me.
Let me ask you.
After that, three wins in a row. You can't knock the guy.
Let me ask you a question. What should Newcastle United do tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow we're live. So what should we do tomorrow? Should we put some subs in there? Should we start everybody? Because I think from what Eddie Howe is saying, that he really wants to go for this. So
I know Wynn said that he wants to go for all competitions, but unless we buy in January, then I think we need to rest. We need to rest at least 5 or 6 players.
Well,
I don't want them to. If we had a big enough, if we had a size squad like a Chelsea or a City, then I would say go for it.
Yeah, well,
we haven't got the.
He was asked about the window, bearing in mind the injuries that we've got, and he said they had very much a watching brief at the minute until such time as the injuries, especially to our defenders.
Schar. He was asked about Schar, wasn't he? Keith Downey put on there.
Yeah. We'd already covered that one just before you came on, so that's not as bad as it looked. But he's still going to be. He said he'll be back before the end of the season, but that's about it, I think.
Well, Steve has an interesting point here. Rest Pope, Hole, Chow, Bruno, J7, and Barnes. I don't necessarily. Well, the fact that Man City might be a big game. You could rest Barnes, but Barnes hasn't been playing as often, so he shouldn't be knackered as Bruno would probably be, or is even Chow.
No, Barnes will be okay. Barnes will be okay, I think.
Now, Pope.
But Chow,
why would you rest
take
Pope?
Chow out. Take Chow because Chow's played every game, and Bruno's played every game.
Yeah.
Well, he had one game off. Bruno's had one game off.
But the only point with Chow is the only point with Chow, Paul, is that you take him out now. You are talking because I mean I'm all about. Well, I'm not all about rotation actually, but I'm all about giving people opportunity. But you're talking about a decisive game, and you're going to put Murphy, who has played one game, I think, all season. But we don't have center backs
alongside Botman, who's played about 2.
Exactly. That I mean, it takes some balls doing that.
We could put Murphy there for Miley there. We could put Miley there for.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't do that.
I
don't know. I'm joking there, by the way. I do agree with some of the comments that the panel have said about putting Miley in different positions, and he just becomes like a James Milner type player.
Well,
so yeah,
well, in this particular case, to be honest,
Eddie did say in the presser today, didn't he, that he would put him back into midfield. Am I correct on that? I read that on X.
Well,
once
we're gonna get to all.
If he had a full
quotes.
selection.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna get into all those quotes, but I think it's. Listen, I wouldn't be opposed to that either. I wouldn't. But now, if I'm Murphy, I'm knackered. If I'm Alex Murphy, I'm like, whoa, I'm knackered here. But Lewis Miley, I've said it before. He could play center back, and I was looked at wrong here. I was looked at sideways as if I was an alien, and he can play there. He's got the stature to it. He can play there. He can. As a matter of fact, when he's on
he plays him there a lot
on the defensive role.
He plays.
Exactly, and Eddie Howe has mentioned that. Funny enough, he's actually trained as a center back a lot more than he's done a right back. So. That was an interesting quote from the last presser, and listen, I think you make fair points there. I mean, Lewis Miley. Now, again, as long as we don't, as you say, keep Lewis Miley, as long as
6 changes tops.
As long as we don't make Lewis Miley, hold on. As long as we don't make Lewis Miley the spare tire where we put him everywhere just for the sake of doing that, then as long as we don't do that, then I'm okay with it. As far as we know, he's a midfielder, he's a holding midfielder, he needs to play there eventually. I think that we're okay with that. Matter of fact, I'm starting to see if we can start playing with 4 midfielders, because it feels like he needs to be on the pitch. And I do agree that Joe Linton has been stepping up his game, which is good.
He's been good.
Jury's still out, by the way, if he's really going to be that grave. I still think that I would probably pay Miley over him in many games, but that's not necessarily everybody's cup of tea.
I think Miley's got to start. I think Toon Army should be giving him a week off for the baby that he's just had, and and Miley should play in his place as well. So it's just tough because Miley's he's got to play. The boy's got to play.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Paul, thank you for calling us. Thank you for calling us, buddy. Appreciate you very much.
No problem.
Have a good day, man.
Keep up the good work, lads.
Catch you later, Paul. Ta-da.
See you, buddy.
Right, quickly, Chris. Trulls in the chat there. Trulls, I need your contact details, your address and things. You won a prize in the members draw last night, and I haven't got them anywhere. So if you can contact me, tmw at NUFC Talk TV. Email.
And you barely got that one too, Trolls, because you were gifted a membership yesterday, and you ended up getting that one. So congrats on that. But you ended up getting that's the lucky part about it, folks. That's the lucky part about it. So
send me your contact details, and I'll get the prize off to
you. Yeah. Here, Kevin says Tuesday night is a much bigger game. I don't feel we go full strength for both. So tomorrow we have to rest and rotate. Walter Mata start up front. We're much better with Wissa, so save him for Tuesday, says Kevin Bell.
Interesting take.
I don't necessarily agree that Walter Mata is not as good as Wissa, or Wissa is better for Newcastle. I don't agree with that, but that's everybody's got their own, if you will, take on that. I expect heavy rotation. You were making faces when Paul was saying something about
6.
6 changes. That is quite a bit. That's more than half a team. So yeah, that's
No.
yeah.
You know, you can make a couple.
Now the Pope change.
You know, the
it's
Pope
not really
Ramsdale.
relevant,
The Pope Ramsdale thing's irrelevant as far as I'm concerned.
so exactly, you wouldn't count that as a change. So.
That's not. I don't qualify that as a change. No, but I think you've got Trips will definitely be coming in. I'm pretty sure about that. Now it's a question of whether he comes in left back or right back.
Mm-hmm.
Do you bring left back to rest Hall, or do you maybe do half and half? Have him play left back the first half, and then bring Lewis Hall on, and or the other way around. Centre back. Chow's got to play. I don't care. You know, I don't care how many games he's played. Chow's got to play. And Botman for me. Now you can put Murphy in at left back if you want, but you can't go with a centre back. For me, you can't go with a centre back pairing of a 80% fit Botman and a raw Murphy. I think that would be suicide.
Well, that is very risky.
Midfield again, and any what you know, I wouldn't even mind resting 2 of the midfielders, because then, depending on what you've done at the back, if Miley was going to be one of the other 2 midfield, you know, I'd be quite happy with Miley, Bruno, and Ramsey for the sake of argument. But that again depends what you're going to do in the fullback department.
But again, Eddie Howe confirmed in the presser earlier today that the news that Fabian Schar has suffered ankle ligament damage and that there has been no break. The Newcastle manager is confident the defender will be back before the end of the season. And, of course, some people say that, you know, apparently a fracture would have been, you know, better as opposed to ligament, you know, tear. Which is, I mean, it doesn't sound right, but it probably is right. You know that like a fractured bone is fractured. You just gotta
just set it,
hold it together, and let it be. As opposed to getting an operation for it. So that's the situation. But hopefully he comes back stronger than ever, and that's the situation. This is, on the FA Cup. I'm very delighted to say that Eddie Howe came up with some positive comments. The comments that you need from a manager to tell you, which are, in quote, we haven't quite matched the success we've had in the Carabao Cup with the FA Cup. The FA Cup is a great competition. The early rounds are the most difficult because you are surrounded by other games. We really need to make sure we focus on this one. We want to, and he kept on going about it, of course. And there's no doubt that the FA Cup was once upon a time the most prestigious cup.
Well, it was a peculiar question that he was asked, because he was asked that would he be picking a team to protect the integrity of the FA Cup, and he says, "Listen," he says, "forget about the integrity of the competition." He says, "We will not relax, and I intend to pick a very strong team." So that was somebody saying if he puts a weakened side out, what would he be disrespecting the competition? Which was a strange question.
Somebody asked him that?
Yeah.
That is a strange question. There's no disrespecting here. I mean, it's a decision making. You get into a decision making mode when you have to decide. I mean, it's that easy, man. I mean, unfortunately, he is right. Eddie Howe is right in the sense that it's tough, because what if you don't want to give up the Carabao Cup when at the start of this either? It's saying we're gonna let's get the FA Cup, you know. So then but if you don't, like we've been taking it serious, the Carabao Cup, and then you get into the later stages of it, but then you got the FA Cup, and you got the Champions League, and you got the Premier League. So it is a tough situation. I'm not gonna lie, but he is the manager of Newcastle United, and that's where we want to be. So he's gonna have to figure it out. He's going to have to figure it out. I do still believe that, again, we were in a great position last year in the Carabao Cup, but I think same as this season. And people would say, well, we're in the semis, blah, blah, blah. But it wasn't a good situation to be let go of the FA Cup that early against Brighton last season.
Which you mentioned.
It wouldn't be great to go out again against Bournemouth. As much as Bournemouth is Bournemouth, Bournemouth is Bournemouth. So, it can't be really, I'm not saying that difficult, but Newcastle United are the favorites to get this game. So what is stopping us from winning this game? Nothing really.
Well, the only thing that's stopping us is putting out a too weak a team.
I just don't see how Eddie Howe puts a weak team. I mean, Steve was saying, changing a lot of players. J7 out for Ramsey. I don't see that as it's a drop off. The goalkeepers I don't count. Or even if you take J7 out and put Miley, but you gotta have somebody on the right. So
well, I think what will happen is, I think Trips will come in at right back. Murphy will come in at left back. Miley will go into the midfield. Tonali will be rested because of his baby and all that going on. Which by the way, was an interesting question about our footballers entitled to paternity leave. And he said,
I don't know. Go on.
Well, what Eddie said was he didn't know, and neither did his press advisor, because he asked him. But he said, as far as actual becoming a dad's concerned, you've got to take you have to take the players' family situations into account at all time. They're all different, and they're all people. You've got to work not just what they're doing on the pitch, but what's happening at home. But he said the excitement of becoming a dad and the relief that it's all over can be a very positive emotion.
It can be. And by the way, being a quick father of three in the span of 34 years, you can tell we were on like rabbits during that span of time. It's a lot easier. It's gonna get a lot tougher later on. Right now, baby just fall right back to sleep. You don't even think of it. He'll fall right back to sleep. Just cries, eats, cries, sleep, eat, sleep, cries every now and then. You clean them real tiny little poops, nothing there, just like a little piece of green butter, and you clean that up. You know what I mean? and you put it right back to, and they just fall right back to sleep. When they get into the 3-4 month stage, man, then you're up every night. So you might want to play Tonali tomorrow. I'm telling you, because there's gonna be no issues. That's I'm just saying, Jordy Dan, $100K a week. They have all their life to be a father. Get your butt on that pitch. Says, well, that's a good point as well. We had an interesting question here in the chat about transfer windows from Satish. Satish says Rajmohan. Correct me if I'm saying you're pronouncing it wrong, mate. But says any January sign is expected.
Well, he was asked two questions on the window.
We are 9th in the month, and it's been awful quiet as far as that's concerned. I wouldn't expect, if you're a Newcastle United fan, do not expect any signings. It's not happening, man. It's not happening. I don't expect one.
Well, he was specifically asked.
What did he say in the presser?
He was specifically asked, are departures more likely than arrivals in this window? And he said, I don't know. He says, it all depends. We're keeping a watching brief. It all depends on what happens with our injury situation. He says, and it could all change overnight.
That's a kind of that's an odd one, because you would expect him to say, well, we don't want anybody going. We value everybody. The typical answer. We value everybody, and but even if there is interest, because there's a lot of talk of Willock leaving, there's a lot of talk of some of these players going, mainly Willock in the last few days, and you would expect them to say maybe something different, but I don't see any of this happening, man. I don't. Do you see any incomings or outgoings?
Particularly yesterday, weren't we well linked with that Malang Saw, which apparently is pretty red hot.
Folks, call us now and have your say and react to the presser as we have been doing. Phoning now 0191-916-8864. Call us now and have your say. Remember, you can become a member if you want to. If you want to enjoy exclusive perks, you can super chat if you want to as well. Highlight your comments and put them in front of everyone else's. Talking about comments, we're going to get to a few here in just a minute. Trips is leaving in the summer, says Darren Lee, confirmed by Craig Hope. I did read something like along those lines that this is his last season. Well, I mean, if he's decided that, it is what it is. But I would try to persuade him. But he's been flirting with this already many times. So if that's his position, then of course let him go about his merry way. Trolls, any news on Schar? As far as we know right now, it is confirmed from the club that from Eddie Howe, really,
not as bad as first looked.
Yeah, it seems to be a ligament issue as opposed to a fracture, and he expects them to be back before the end of the season, which is not really that promising. By the end of the season, we could be knackered. But either way, there's somewhat of a positive spin to it. Steve says end of the window if we do anything, which it would be like the summer window, and that is a tough pill to swallow, of course. I mean, it's just.
Well, he was asked about the summer window as well, and he said, did he feel happy about he was asked about it started off with the energy levels that were showed against Leeds, and he said the praise to the players because we were definitely stronger in the later stages than Leeds were. But he said that's because we've used the squad all season and rarely started the same starting 11. So he says he has been rotating, and therefore, after the summer window, which was the original question, he felt that we had a strong enough squad. But obviously the injuries have since changed that.
We got a new caller. Good morning, Chris, all the way from London. How are you, mate?
Hi, lads. I just called in because obviously I missed the press conference because I've been ill for a couple of days. My brain feels like it's on cloud 9 at the moment. The point is, every football team has a system except for us. Even Brentford have a system. We look like we just hit, go, and try to score.
Well, there's a lot of things wrapped up in that little statement. The first is that we definitely do have a system. It's not a system that...
But we don't win. That's the point. We don't have one. There is no systematic system at Newcastle. We play 4-3-3, but there's no patterns of play. There's nothing.
There you go. We play 4-3-3, and that's what he gets criticised for.
4-3-3 is not a system, it is a tactic. A system is how you build the ball up, how you work as a defensive unit, how wingers cut in or cross, which we don't have. Or we have a 6 that sits there and defend back 4. We don't have that either. A system is how a manager sets up a team in offensive tactics and defensive tactics. 4-3-3, mate, is just a tactic.
Right? And his 4-3-3 and the high press that you refer to...
We don't high press.
Well, there's no high press.
Tell me, right, I'm going to explain something to you. High press is a system where the wingers and the forward press the centre-backs and the full-backs, and then the 2 midfielders come up to stop them playing out of their own defence. We do not do that.
I'm just going to...
That is high press. Ralph Rangnick invented high press football. It's quite simple. You go look up in there, tell you what high press is. We don't play that. We have one player that might try to push the goalkeeper, but it ain't high press. It's not the same as we were 2 years ago when we only lost 5 games. That was high press.
Do you not?
I'm not having to go at you, but the fact is, my concern is when you watch Newcastle, there is no substance or style. And the fact is, if you want to be a big team like Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, there has to be a system for where you keep playing that system and you recruit around it. We don't do that. Now, if you're not scared of that, I don't know what you're thinking, because the fact is,
I'm not scared of that at all.
A football team.
So let Win speak then and respond to you what you had to say. Go on, Win.
I'm not scared of that at all. Newcastle and Bournemouth are the 2 top high pressers in the Premier League. Facts, stats, Premier League stats.
Right, win. One, you just lied, because the fact is you could go and watch every match we played, have a look at where our players are. Our players, look at the map, you've shown it so many times. Look at where the players are. If the players are on the midfield line, they are not high pressing. High pressing is in the other area of the pitch, the top. That is Gegenpress. High pressing football. We're not high pressing. I've seen your maps when you bring up where every player is. The only time I've ever seen a striker anywhere near their box is when Visser's played. We're not playing high press football.
Now, Chris, what attribute the latest 9 points? We got 3 points in a row, 3 matches in a row that we won. What do you attribute that to? I understand that there is not, I could agree actually, that there's not really a clear-cut definition of what we're trying to do.
I put it down to passion, because the fact is we have won balls from set pieces, which is not high pressing. A lot of our goals have come from set pieces lately. But our defence is people shutting down, midfielders not tracking their own players. And it's generally down to that. You can't always blame the wingers for not coming back. The fact is, a midfield is set there to try and stop them coming on us or going through the middle. But lately, Chris, you've seen it, mate. One ball over the top, all 3 midfielders don't realise where they're playing.
Win is knackered at the moment, but we're giving them time to go.
Like, how many times, Chris, how many times have we had a ball go straight through the midfield? And it ain't just this season. The 3 who play in midfield.
Go on, Win.
I was just going to shoot them down in flames, because goals scored from...
Shoot me down in flames, Win. I've seen all of your maps for this season of our tactical positions. They are in midfield and defence. That is not high press.
Win, you're trying to look for something. He's right in saying that we don't press, man. We don't.
I am right. I have seen every time you and Gary do a show, you put up the positions that we play. None of them are in their final third.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Gary's passing in maps, you mean?
Yeah, that is where it shows you where the players are all the time. You've seen it, where the 8 is, where the 6 is, where the wingers are. We are always in midfield, and Visser, when he plays, is literally in front of their back 4. Not once do you see on our patterns of play, what about Gordon, the guy that can't beat a fullback? We don't play high-press football. He cannot, one-on-one, beat a fullback. We have seen it this season. Every player that he has come up against, he has passed it off because he can't beat the fullback.
We are knackered.
Defend yourself, man.
Press. I don't believe what I'm hearing here. High press.
I know, mate.
Press
Ralph Ragnick, the guy that was at Man United, he created Gegenpress. He created it.
High press is what you do when the opposition...
Go look on the internet, mate. It'll show you what high press is.
It's what you do when the opposition have the ball.
Yeah, but we
don't. Nothing is when you pin in their back line and you work from there. As soon as the goalkeeper touches the ball, the front 3 press the defence. So therefore, the goalkeeper has no option to push the ball down the lane. That is high press.
Or to his full-backs and then put them under pressure. And the one thing that Anthony Gordon
that is high press. We don't do that.
We do that.
We're not, though, Win.
But we're doing...
No, we don't. Tell me when you've seen Anthony Gordon press a fucking... press a fullback. Tell me when you've seen Voldemar press the back line. Tell me when you've seen the midfield push up to stop them with the passing lanes. I'm sorry, mate. I work in football.
Single game.
I've told you this before. It is rubbish that we play high press.
Listen,
we play, pass the ball and see where it goes.
Chris,
and you said it before. If we can't pass the ball 5 yards, how are we playing high press?
But here's the thing about Gordon does do that from time to time. But the thing is, you can't argue that he does it. If he says he did it all the time, you can't argue that we as a team play pressing football because he does it. Because the center forward, the right wing doesn't do it.
I agree with you, but Wynn's got to understand. If our team spends so much time sitting back, how is that Gegenpress?
Well, he does have a point. Wayne, he does have a point, man.
We've got the second highest. Outside the top.
Second high is what, man? Second high. Just stop bringing up
possession stats. Man.
Yeah, possession. What do you mean?
We have, mate. Do you want to know why we have the second highest possession stats? I can tell you, Win. It's because we spend so much time sitting in our back line that we have the ball all the time because we're getting attacked.
Well, we got a question for you.
That is literally it.
We got a question for you from the chat. Kevin Bell right here. Kevin Bell 104 says, just ask this guy what the alternative is. He sounds like the sort of guy who complains about everything and has a solution to nothing. So,
okay, I have a solution. Take a manager like Eddie Howe, go and sit there with your players and determine how you want to play football. Because if you go look at Arteta, Pep Guardiola, any top manager will base a style around the system he wants to play. You hire and recruit around what you want to play. You don't just go, well, I like him because he runs, I like him because he runs, and I like him because he runs. Why? Every top manager has built around the system they want to play.
He buys players because they run, because they're athletes. Why do you need athletes?
I'll tell you what, Win. I'll tell you what, mate. We'll go hire a racehorse and put him up front. Because that's a pure athlete, mate. Do you know what I mean? To see if he can score a goal.
How's that work with Elanga, man? It's just not really.
Yeah, exactly. Really how does it work with Elanga? How does that work with Gordon? What's Gordon's goals this season, Win? Without a penalty. What's his goals, mate? Because he's a racehorse.
The one defence I have for Gordon is that despite not having the output in terms of goals and assists, that his pressing is essential for the team.
Win. Why did we buy Gordon?
Why did we buy Gordon?
I'm asking you a question. Why did we buy Gordon? Or specifically, why would we buy a winger / inside forward? What's their job, mate?
To score and assist.
Well, what's Gordon done this season, mate?
Now, he's getting
I'm putting it down to you. I don't dislike you, mate, but the fact is, players are bought for positions. They're not built to run around and do rubbish. He is here to assist and score.
Win, you are getting right now.
And press is what he does. How did we get 2 goals against Burnley in the first 10 minutes? Because Gordon was pressing. Both of them.
Mate, the whole team's supposed to press. It's not just one bloke.
We know that. And
that's the thing, though.
And that's what's not happening.
But I'm.
So what you? Mate, so hold on, Chris. Hold on.
This is a genuine question. People are going to start asking this at some point. All my question has ever been is, we need a system. A system.
Your question's been, we need a manager.
Mate. If we wanted Gegenpress, go to Germany, watch Frankfurt or someone like that. The team, because it comes from Germany. Go watch one of them, and then you'll learn what Gegenpress is. The fact is, the front three and the midfield, they used to press. Don't get me wrong. We used to waste time. We used to rough people up, and we used to go at people and score goals. That's Gegenpress. This season, mate, we look like a team that has, what do they call it, wish found them. We've literally got involved in games and somehow just gone like Keegan did and scored goals in the last game.
By the way, Chris hasn't said Eddie Howe out, so you're saying he wants to change the manager. He hasn't said that. He said he wants a system.
Chris, you know I'm Eddie Howe out. We've had this discussion.
Oh, so
but
you are, okay.
For the season that we're in this season, I can't ask the guy to leave. I can ask the guy to improve.
Oh, true. That's a good, fair. That's a very.
And the point is, I'm always willing to give a manager a chance, but he has to find the system that he wants to play. At the moment, it's 5-3-2. If we think we're going to get beaten up, which most we will play against City, which obviously I don't know if that'll work anymore, because when we played 5-3-2 last year, we had Gordon who would run wide, and we had Isak that was up front. We don't have that now.
We don't. Well, but listen, that's a good take. You already defeated him. He's finished, man. So you don't have to keep.
Well,
going,
it's not the point of defeating Mighty Win. It's the point at some point. You've seen Arsenal. You've seen all the teams at the top of the league. What do they consistently have? They have one formation that they master and improve by buying players around it. We're not doing that. Yeah. And until fans or even Win starts to see that, that's the reason why they win. That's why they're consistent, because they stick to a philosophy and they buy around it. We do not.
Because they can buy better footballers than we can buy.
Yeah, but that's not.
Mate, they bought Mosquera from Valencia for £16 million. It's not about the money. We bought Alanga, right, Win. Look at Madueke. Everybody thought he was rubbish, and now he's one of the best players at Arsenal on the left wing.
Madueke was a cast-off, yeah, he was.
Exactly, and look how good he's playing, Chris. That's from a manager that gives players
£75 million cast-off.
He may be a PE teacher to the rest of us,
but he was a cast-off.
He's doing a good job at Arsenal.
Chelsea didn't want him. They didn't want him. They more or less tried to sell him every window until they got rid of him now.
Exactly. But look how good he's playing. That's the point. Right.
You got to admit
brought in Alanga, and he looks like, I don't know, Win. Do you think
were
that
in
Eddie
for
Howe is hiding
as well?
him?
No, we didn't. No, we weren't. We were rumored with him. We didn't go with him.
Chris, I need to know from Mighty Win, is Eddie Howe hiding Alanga? Because it's suspicious how he's got this injury and none of us see him.
Well,
and he's literally hid away because of how bad he's been. It looks like the manager has decided, I'm not going to play him. I'm going to keep him to one side until the fans calm down, and they're going to start being better with him. Because that's all I can see. I've never seen an injury that he didn't walk off injured.
No, you're right in that. But it is tough for me to think that the manager would do that. But again, you're right.
It's like the Tonali situation. There are a lot of fans that dislike him because of his performances this year.
True.
And yet he was our best player last year. Form happens. Maybe he's had an argument. Maybe he's disbelief because the fact when Isak left, we hate to admit it, but there may be a lot of players thinking, what is this project now?
Or maybe Sandro and Alanga, by the way, have just had babies.
Yeah,
Tonali yesterday.
But when you know damn well Sandro's not going to be off as long as Alanga has been. You know that. You know Sandro is not going to be off and not play as many games as Alanga hasn't played in the last few weeks now.
No, Alanga hasn't played because when he has played, he hasn't been good.
Oh, there you go. So maybe it's a mix of both.
Win. I'm going to leave in a minute, obviously, because you've only got limited time. But there's one question I've always seemed to want to ask you, is this. Is it time, after everything we've invested and everything that the club has spent, for us to finally act like a big team and just like get Eddie to pin down a system and just buy around that system? Because I don't hate Eddie Howe. I think he's a brilliant guy, but I think his in-game management is really bad. Like, I don't think he's not bad at training players. I think he may be brilliant. But the fact is, at some point, that man that owns our football club is going to pull his finger.
And you know what?
Because who's lying? Is it the owner that's lying, or are we just over-expectating? Because when that new guy that came in, is it Hopkinson? He never, ever should have told the fans that within 4 years we're going to be one of the world's best teams. Because as far as I can see, on the pitch, that ain't happening.
Ooh, there you go. And on that note,
it won't happen until we get the money that the teams above us have got. Brentford accepted.
Mate, it's not about the money. It's about buying players that can play football. You can find them anywhere. Brazil, you can find them in, you can even find them in Sweden and Norway. They're good players. Look at Rooney Bargi. He played for Copenhagen, yeah? He is now at Barcelona as one of their main strike forces.
On that, 100%.
You can find a player anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. On that, there's no doubt that you are 100% right on that. 100%. No doubt about it. Chris, thank you for calling us, mate. Appreciate you very much indeed.
Yeah, that's fine, mate. Have a good day.
And you
too, mate. There you go, baby. Woo!
Right, there you go.
We
are knackered. Proves that we're wangers.
Why do you win?
You're out your mind, man.
It's just who we are, mate. It's just who we are.
That's poor. That's really from him.
Love it.
Win all the effects all in one, man. Okay, now look, but listen, that's a wonderful debate, and that's what this channel is all about, ladies and gents. Fans, calling now and have your say. 0191-916-8864. Go on, call and have your say. This is what it's all about. This is what the channel thrives on. Fans calling to have their opinion out there and challenging anybody that they feel to. So it's a very good one. We will have to provide medical assistance. The NHS appointment is set already as we're speaking for Mighty Win to go out there and get checked after that ass whipping that he took. But
the ass whipping there.
You know, well, we love War Win, man, but he was not good. Yeah, but he does got a point, man. We got to recruit, man. We got to recruit.
Ranić invented Gegenpress. Shut up, man.
Well, I don't know who invented it, but the thing is, we're not doing it. So that's as far as I know. Call us now, folks, and have your say. 0191-916-8864. Newcastle United putting out a quote, of course, Eddie Howe on Dan Burns' progress in the presser. He said, in quote, Dan was given a time frame. I'm not sure how much we can shave off with the type of injury he's got. He's out on the grass. He's running, making good progress. He's here every day. Dan will be very keen to push himself back, but it is one that will probably, I don't know, we'll have to see, I guess, more or less. Burn, the fact that he's running with a lung punctured lung at the time and rib broke. Well, I think it was fractured rib. I can't remember for sure, but the fact that he's running, and that's good. That's good. I don't know about playing the whole game really, but it's
in terms of other options, he was asked about Matt Targett. What was the chances of recalling him from loan? And he said all options are open, but we've got to balance his and our clubs and his personal recommendations, kind of thing. And Jamal was very much wait and see, still not match fit.
One on your behalf, when Brian Gar says a lot of punches were thrown, but none of them hit Win.
Right, there you go.
Lovely, mate. Jody Dan, Win will have to keep massaging his Dan Burn voodoo doll. Get him back as quick as possible. I like that, man.
He's from Blythe,
If Burn was
He's from Blythe. He'll never ever be done, Burn. He's from Blythe. He's from Blythe.
Proves that we're wangers.
Unbelievable, this man. But again, I will say, if Burn is 90% available, I'm playing him. 90%. If he's 90%, 85%, I'm playing him. Because can't really risk, Murphy. Murphy, as much as I want to give kids opportunity, because I want to give kids opportunities more than anybody on this channel, or trust them. I want to say that putting him with a new Botman coming in is a bit knackering, to be fair. But we want to thank the one and only, the lovely Queen of Heart for gifting 5 gifted memberships. That was amazing. Thank you very much, Queenie. That goes a long way. I appreciate you very much indeed. It's going to Gaz NUFC 88. Thank you very much. In welcoming, please consider renewing your membership. It's also going to Collins 407. So there you go. Congrats, Collins. Buller Boy 22. Jordy Dan. Oh, Jordy Doctor. Okay, there you go. Jordy Doctor. I'm about to say, Jordy Dan, you're a member, aren't you? Jordy Doctor. And never
look back.
Never look back. I was about to say, never. Never look back. Thank you very much, and congrats, and of course,
And thank you,
don't forget.
Queenie.
Don't forget that. Thank you very much, Queenie. Don't forget to renew. Consider renewing your membership. It goes a long way, and there is 3 podcasts that you can enjoy just for you. 3 shows that we do for members, and of course, everything that we put out. The Party Neat show from tonight will be on demand for you to watch there, the edited version, and you get to participate on our weekly prediction. You get do a lot of stuff, and you get to be given away. Yesterday we gave away 5 things. They've all been shipped in order.
Trolls.
Except Trolls.
Trolls, don't forget. I need your contact details.
Trolls, except Trolls, yeah, that's right, because Trolls is in not Norway. Norway? Yeah, it is Norway, isn't it?
Norway, yeah.
Trolls in Norway, man. So there you go, and
it's North Korean kronas.
The North Korean kronas, exactly. So that was Dan Burns. If Dan Burns is ready, 90%, I think I would put him on the pitch. I would definitely do that. Well, let's go with some comments that are coming in right now. Call us now and have your say, though, folks. You can do that right now. You can call free of charge. Call us now. The number is 0191-916-8864. Troll says, can you give the price to Christina, please? Christina also won, by the way, a keychain. But if those are your wishes, what is that? What is the Dragon Ball? What is the Dragon Ball dragon that comes out? Shamrock? It's not Shamrock though. It sounds like a
what?
It sounds like a Irish thing. You wouldn't know because
you're
not cool. No, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know because you're not cool. But the Dragon Ball dragon that grants you wishes. He says your wishes shall be granted. I forgot what is it? Shamrock? Shamrock, right? Shenron. There you go, baby. Shenron, we are your Shenron, and your wishes shall be granted. So there you go. And Purumba, I think the one in Namek world was Purumba or Kurumba, something like that. Anyway, let's go with some of the chats, folks. Meanwhile, Mighty Win Google's Dragon Ball Z. It's a Connie show, man. It's from the 80s, by the way. So you were, it's not like you were young in the 80s. I'm trying to give you, I'm trying to throw you an assist here, mate. But there you go. Kevin Bell, to be honest, the press conferences are largely boring. We don't need the full thing. I think we all agree. We'd all agree just chatting like this with the highlights of what was said is fine. He says, biggest risk is, will he be the same player if it's a bad injury? Not all come back the same. Well, you wouldn't expect him to be fair. It's just he's got to ride the wave, man. But
it's kind of weird with it being the injury. I assume he's talking about Dan Burn.
No, he's talking about Schar.
Oh, Schar. I'm not so hopeful for Schar. The beauty about Dan Burn is that it isn't muscular or skeletal. It's the respiratory system basically and broken. I don't know if you've ever had a broken rib, but there's nothing you can do. It literally just takes time. It's painful as hell. His must have broken, I think, for it to pierce the lung. And that's the other thing that we don't know. Because if you can't get his wind, as we say in the northeast of England, if you can't get your wind, you're not going to run very far. So that's the worry there. And they'll be able to get all that, the medical stats that they get now are second to none. So they'll know exactly his heart rate and his breath rate, everything to go along with that.
Paul Wright says the Lascelles thing is baffling, doesn't feel good in his body or something like that, but could leave this window. Well, I would definitely. I don't know about Lascelles. I mean, it seems odd. It feels like the whole year he's been hurt. Is that really true? I don't know. Thank you very much, Brian Gar, for becoming a member. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you very much indeed. That goes a long way in supporting the channel monthly. We can't thank you enough. It helps us a lot moving forward. So, and the fact that you guys are signing up and the fact that other people are gifted memberships, that goes a long way. Thank you very much, Queenie, of course. And thank you very much, Brian. If you've been gifted a membership, please renew your membership once the free month is up. And take a look now. You got a free month. Take a look. Enjoy it. Enjoy the podcast. tomorrow after you go player scores, player rating with Michael Gramslow and Ian McKay. That's lovely lads that we've added on to the team as well as Kev, by the way, who Kev wants to do everything, man. Kevin, Kevin, he's got a lot of you happy clappers are loving him at the moment, but he wants to do everything. He wants to do that. He wants to do that. He's so excited to be on the team, so we can't be more excited to have him on board as well. So, season ticket holder again. Just so Mighty Wing can stop saying that we're just a bunch of Wangas that online fans. He's a season ticket holder, So there you go. Kevin Bell, he's very much like Declan Rice. We need him in midfield, really. I talk about Miley there. Darren Lee, I love us to win the FA Cup this season. I hope we can go for it.
Me too, Darren. Me too.
It looks like Eddie is. I praise Eddie when I need to. In that Chris, I think Eddie is spot on when he came out and gave that message. That's kind of what is he supposed to say, but he doesn't really have to. He was very. I can feel the sincere. He was very sincere when he really wants to perform for the FA Cup, and I could be more excited because the FA Cup is the FA Cup, baby, and we need to at some point winning the FA Cup. Ooh, that's a big one. That's a big one. Meyer says, "I like Gordon on the left. He wreaks havoc."
He said in the presser that the Brighton defeat in the FA Cup last season was one of the biggest, the hardest pills to swallow.
Oh, no doubt, man. I bet it was a hard pill for me to swallow. You were defending him though, or defending the whole situation. I like it. Meyer says, I like it when Hall is out wide and Gordon comes inside. I think that's when he's the most dangerous. I'd support Hall 100%, but he hasn't been performing, great as of late, in my opinion. So, jury's still out. I'm not still. That is a mistake. That jury's not still out. He is our left back. But I'm just saying it's good to point out when they don't perform. I don't think he's been performing exactly great at the moment in time. Iniesta, I think a broken ankle would be better for Schar than a grade 3 ligament damage on the ankle. Yeah, well, you avoid surgery, I think.
But he says it's not a break, it is ligament.
Yeah, it is ligament, of course, it is.
Yeah, so
Steve was saying rest Pope. Steve was saying rest Pope, Hall, Chow, Bruno, J7, and Barnes.
Too
many. A lot of people, although, Pope you don't count. Hall, Hall, who are you going to play against Hall? Chow.
Well, you put Murphy in. I can see Murphy going in for Hall. Tripp's going in for Miley. Miley moving into midfield.
Yeah, but who's going to be on the right? Livermento's back, isn't he?
Trips.
He could probably play, or Trips. They could probably play a whole game. To be fair, so that's a fair statement. And then you have Tonali. Well, Tonali, Tonali just had a baby, but again,
Tonali, Bruno, J7, Miley.
Well, he's saying
Bruno. 4.
He's saying Bruno and J7 out. So I think J7 Ramsey.
Right, so you put Ramsey and Miley in midfield.
And Tonali. Yeah, well, that wouldn't be bad.
But the problem there is taking Chow.
Yeah, I wouldn't do Chow, yeah.
Because if you take Chow out, you've got to play Murphy there. And that means you can't play Murphy left back.
Sean says the caller is right about yo-yoing. I'm back on the fence again. Sunderland at home was critical in my opinion. Now you're back on the fence,
Sean,
man.
good lad.
No, he's not a happy clapper. He's back on the fence.
He's back on the fence. That's a start. It's a start.
Come on, man. Sean, it's been critical. Iniesta, we got 10 games in the next 30 days. That could potentially get 2 more UCL player fixtures. We need to sign some players. There you go. Tim Clark, thank you, Tim. First time seeing you here, mate. Replacing our aging players need to be chipped away in every window. It will be too much money to spend in one window. Not getting in replacements now is madness, says Tim Clark. Thank you very much, and welcome to the family, mate. Gramitone says, good morning. Eddie will play a weaker team, in my opinion. Well, weaker, how do you determine weaker? Weaker can be anything, really. Weaker can be taking Bruno out, just Bruno out.
Yeah, I don't think he will be putting all his meat on the grill, as you say.
A weak team, he's going to put a weak team is a different statement. And that I wouldn't.
A weak team is making half a dozen changes. Or the 8 changes, for example, that were made against Spurs.
It doesn't matter. even if we get players in, it takes 3 months for Eddie to play them, says Carl Hope. Ooh, a bit of a downer there.
Just a quickie, one point that we didn't mention in the presser, by the way, was he was asked about Malik Chow and the fact that he'd come out and apologised publicly for his display against Leeds. And he said there was absolutely no need to apologise. He's been outstanding for us this season, consistently good. But fortunately, he is experienced enough to put it all behind him. And that was the last thing that I haven't got already ticked off that we've spoken about.
Jordy up in Edinburgh says Tonali should be given a month off to be with the baby. I mean, I think that's a bit of a stretch, though, mate. A month off.
Can't you see? He was asked
to 10 games, man.
Entitled to paternity leave.
Well,
and he didn't have a clue.
Well, he said if they ask, I guess, but a month off. I mean, that's I'm not gonna lie, that's criminal. Like, I'm for a footballer. I'm like, mate, listen. I mean, no, and you would understand, of course, if something is going on. Like it seems though that he is fortunate.
Yeah, there was complications or something.
Yeah, he is fortunate that the baby is in great shape. So none of that at the moment is warranted. I would assume. But of course, if he says, "Can I have a week off?" and it is what it is. But 30 days is quite a bit, to be fair, in football. So not to sound not supportive or anything like that. Kevin Bell, Tuesday night is a much bigger game. I don't feel we go full strength for both. So tomorrow we have the rest to rest and rotate. Walter Mata to start up front. Yeah, we're much better with Wissa and save him for Tuesday, says Kevin Bell. More comments here. Satis says, so when is Eddie in again? Oh, man.
Proves that we're wangers.
He was Eddie out for one game, man. He was for one night.
And again, I wasn't even Eddie out for one game. The reason
it
was for one game was because I said I thought the Man United defeat meant that we had no chance of getting within touching distance of Champions League by after the Burnley game. But we did, because of the way the season's gone in the league. And then we were there, so that game didn't count.
Right.
And look where we are now. 2 points off fourth.
Satis says, so when is Eddie? Oh, there you were right now. Steve, when will be crying if we play a full squad tomorrow, then get grubbed on Tuesday because they're tired.
Not me. I'll not be crying if we play a full squad tomorrow. Not at all.
8 Bird says, so if I can work, surely Tonali can play for 90 minutes. Exactly, man.
I'm assuming Eddie Bird must have just had a baby.
So congrats for that.
Congratulations if that's
well, I mean, all of us had a baby and had to work, so it doesn't have to be now. Although the military did give me about 41 days off, so I can't for my first baby. So I can't talk much on that. And trust me, I took all of that every single day. So there you go. Although, if you were telling me you're getting $100K a week, then I'll be right at work, baby. Don't worry. Darren Lee, we need at least 2 new first-team players in this window. 2 new, that sounds good, but it's just not going to happen, though. Yeah. I mean, it's not going to happen. I'm telling you, we're not going to get any signings. I don't necessarily think, because I'm going to maintain my convictions, and we should be, but we shouldn't have the struggle that we've had this season because of the squad that we got. We shouldn't. We should be consistently been performing good and being in 4th or 5th place. Now we're starting to get there, but it took long enough.
I'll tell you what we should be. If
with the squad that we got now, so I don't think we need that.
If we are the big club that everybody says we are,
we are a big club, whether you like it.
What we should be doing now, because we've seen this season that the wingers aren't performing, what we should be doing this summer, if we're a big club like Chelsea, they would just admit, the same as they did with Mudryk, paid 70 million for Mudryk, and, eventually realised, made a mistake, and they went and bought another couple of wingers. And what we could do is just admit, although I haven't totally given up on them, that we've dropped
Why
the
do we have
ball
to
with the
admit?
Langa.
No. What's admitting? What coming out and say Langa? That wasn't good. It wasn't good signing, so we're gonna move
So
it.
you buy another winger and try and get
you can buy another winger
and offload the Langa.
You can buy another winger. You can
Yeah,
buy
yeah.
another winger, but to be honest, I don't see. Well, you could probably admit that, but either way, it's just
That's one of the main problems. I see this season has been.
No, but it isn't though.
By the wingers.
Well, it is. It is actually. Yeah, I agree with that. But Eddie Howe has shot himself in the foot by not playing Barnes when he needed to. But it is the truth.
Yeah, we've had that conversation.
Yeah, and you were proven wrong.
And if you can, listen, if Harvey Barnes maintains his current form, obviously he
but first of all, you got to give him an opportunity to, or else he won't. He can't be.
Well, he will be given the opportunity.
Well, that's happened before where he wasn't, and that's the problem.
Because when he's come in, he hasn't.
No BS. People wanted to know. There
you know, all of the time to see the levels that you can compete with.
Dark Side of the Moon. Good question, by the way, at the time.
Dark Side of the Moon is saying, "When are you Eddie in or out?" I'm Eddie out now.
There you go, Eddie out.
And then if you continue,
no. There's no.
Continue the clip.
No, there's no continuation with the clip. It's over because you right there took the longest pause ever. You didn't say anything else after that. So it's clear and evident right there.
No.
I said after that.
Out.
And before that.
Eddie out now.
There you go. And right there, you're not saying anything. You're not saying anything. You're not saying anything. So that's the clip. There's no out of context situation here, man.
I believed that then we weren't going to be able to get within touching distance of Champions League by the end of the Christmas fixtures. And we
Thank
did.
you, Jordy Dan, for that clip, by the way. Thank you, Jordy Dan, for that clip. Fred Jones there says, stats show our defense line has dropped from 29% to 20%, which means that our high press is not what it was, and I see we don't press like we used to. Well, we don't. That's why I was trying to help you out when you were getting annihilated by Chris from London. I was like, why would you say that we have press? That's the thing with you, when you get too happy, clappy, man, and you forget. The last game makes you forget about anything that happened before and before. We haven't been present, and that's just a fact, man. We haven't been a present team. If we would have continued being a present team, we wouldn't have had the downfall we had. Now, you can argue whether Isak leaving is one particular situation where, you know, you get to adjust to, but that can't be the end all be all, man. The world stops because he leaves. If that's the case, then we are knackered, and this is a bigger problem. But we should have easily fixed that. Or at least say, you know what, this center forward that we got right now, Walter Mata, like you argue many times, he is absolutely rubbish, and he is a numpty. But he's the one not present. But everybody else is present. So he's the problem. But no, as a team, we weren't present. The team wasn't doing that. So forget one specific player. The team weren't doing it, and we haven't been doing that. Now we're starting to see a few things. But even then, yesterday we were, not yesterday, but against Leeds, we were the most active we've been. Didn't give up on the game. All of that was great, you know. But that's just one game where we did that. So the jury is still very much out on this, on how we're playing. I think Chris from London did have a point as far as we don't know how we play. We don't, because 4-3-3 is not a way of playing. That's just a formation that we set ourselves with. So that's what I'm saying, man. Mark Gahey is not coming to Newcastle. I mean, it's just, he's not. The fact that he would be going to Arsenal is surprising, if that's the case. But he's not going anywhere now. No, he wants to the end of the season, you know, and that's that. You know, in control, be a free agent and decide where he wants to go. Real Madrid be all over him, man. Trust me, the big clubs. So it would surprise me if he goes to Arsenal. That means nobody else, no other club is in for him. So that is that, ladies and gents. What are you looking at, man? Are you still
got it up there now? The table after we got beat off Man United, we had played 18 games. We were on 23 points. Chelsea were in 4th place on 20. Well, there was 3 teams on 29 points. 4th, 5th, and 6th. Chelsea, Man U, Liverpool were all on 29 points. We were on 23. We were 6 points behind them. We'd already played our 18th game. They were still on 17. And we had 1 game left, Burnley. And I thought the most we are going to get is 26 points. And with the teams, all those teams above us, I thought we had no chance of being anywhere near top 4. They all lost their next 2 games. Well, they got the odd point here, there, and everywhere, which meant that after the Burnley game, we were back within 3 points of 5th place. And at that stage of the season, I'll show you.
By the way, it looks like Semenyo will be available for Man City in the Carabao Cup semis. Final, as the rules around players being cup tied has been relaxed this season. Unfortunately, for us last season, we were linked with many players, and that was the situation. I think it wasn't Larsen, right? Strain Larsen. He had already played Carabao Cup in the summer window, actually. If I'm not mistaken, had already played with them. And therefore, it was one of the situations where it was iffy to trying to go out there. If I'm not mistaken, it may have been somebody else, but I think it was him. But anyway,
so put that table playing. Up.
You want to bore people to death, man. What do you want to see? Nobody can read that anyway. You know my rules. If you can't read it, don't show it. So, what's going on? Just say it, man. Whatever. We don't need to do all that.
There, see that there? At that time, only Man United, because obviously they'd just beaten us. 17, they all had 2 games to play before we would have finished playing. And we were on 23 points. 24, 24, 26, 27, 29, 29, 29, and then the top 3. So we were 6 points behind, having played a game more. I thought there was no way we were going to get there. But the Premier League being the Premier League, we did get there.
Nah, it's a knackered statement. We do got Jordan Cronin an hour ago posting that Jamal Lascelles likely to leave Newcastle United this month. I don't know what information he has, but that's what he's reporting. Incredible servant, says Eddie Howe. He's a great leader for us behind the scenes, so let's wait and see what happens on his future. Lascelles not currently training with Newcastle United due to not feeling great in his body. So whatever that means, it's not good. When they can't give you an explanation for it, that means you're not good. So he might be leaving. And look, she's been in the club for a long, long time. I think it's going to be over 10 years now. So, you know, it's a long time. Really good player, a Londoner, a guy that, you know, he's a Londoner, right? He's from London, right? I think he's from London.
Jamal.
I know that he goes to London on holidays.
Wolverhampton or London, one of the 2.
He goes to he came out of Forest, so if I'm not mistaken, so that means he may have been.
Forest, that was it. I knew it was in the Midlands somewhere.
Yeah. So, but I know he goes on holiday to London, so that's what I know for factually actually. So I don't know if the family's there or what's going on, but regardless, Jamal has been in the club for a long time. I can't remember exactly what year he came up, but I know it's 20,000 years ago. Probably I remember the World Cup clearly in Brazil, 2014, and I'm going to assume that I remember that move being made around the World Cup, if I'm not mistaken. I remember the World Cup being in Brazil, and I remember taking the news that Lascelles was coming into Newcastle. So I'm not sure if it was that year, but somewhere around that time. So it'd be good to look it up. But either way, it's a long time, man. Long time. So nothing but respect for Jamal Lascelles. And, you know, it is what it is. It's just Father Time. When Father Time calls in, it is what it is. 2014. Spot on, baby. Come on, the American Mag, man. Give a round of applause for the American Mag.
And Eddie Howe all day, every day.
Come on, man. But, you know, applaud, man.
So 11 years.
That's a memory of an elephant. Never forget, man. Never forget. I remember. I just remember
You got the
World
body
Cup.
of an elephant.
I just remember the World Cup being on at the time in Brazil. Brazil. So there you go. But again, been here a long time. So what else can he do? What else can he do? That's it, man.
Been a good servant, no doubt about that.
Top lad, top lad. For a long time, he was the best center back we had, man.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a lot to say, to be fair. How way, man. Not since he's been on. Coloccini was when he was on. Coloccini was no donkey. No, wait. That's 2013 when he left, I think. Coloccini, maybe. When did Coloccini leave? No, Coloccini didn't leave 2013. Trying to think now because my memory. Because I remember Coloccini. That was my peak. Time as a Toon fan, man. Because Coloccini, the Argentina, the South Americans making us proud from Cordoba, Argentina.
2016
you know what I mean?
he left.
Oh yeah, so he was playing with Lascelles.
Yeah.
So you can't say donkeys, man, because he is a beloved player, Coloccini. I don't buy in this local hero nonsense or hero nonsense. Just none of it. They're not. You know, but they're great players and great servants. And to be fair, Coloccini deserved more, man, because he came from Milan. He was great, top club. You know, comes to Newcastle and was not good. So you know,
well,
he deserves a little bit.
We signed him from Deportivo La Coruña. He was there for 2 years after he'd been to loads of places after Milan.
Oh, I thought you came from Milan. Never mind.
No, he left Milan in 2004.
He played for the national team for a long time, by the way. So he was and playing in Argentina is not easy. Fabrizio Coloccini, well, Jamal Lascelles, mate, you done great. So if you gotta go, it's time to go, baby. Ni bother. As for us right now, folks, thank you very much for joining us and to your continued support. It goes a long way, and thank you very much. I like remember pushing a bit to say he was great. What Coloccini, man? Are you kidding me? He's one of the greatest center backs we had this century, man. How way, man? He was better. Let me tell you something.
Don't even go there.
No, let me tell you something. Where's my music? Everybody look at me and listen to me very clear. Coloccini. Hold on, I got a WhatsApp message here real quick. Coloccini, Fabrizio Coloccini was and is, well, they're retired now, they're knackered, but a better center back, defender for Newcastle United. Much better than Jonathan Woodgate.
Shut up.
Jonathan Woodgate.
Proves that we're wangers.
I'm telling you, man.
Wait a minute. Are you saying for Newcastle United?
No, overall. Man.
Because of the
overall, I'm talking about their career.
In terms of his performances wearing a black and white shirt, he wasn't on the same page as Jonathan Woodgate.
If he's not able to play, he's not good. Plain and simple.
That's right, absolutely.
It's just that simple. He can't.
Laura Toon Wifey.
Thank you, Laura Toon. I appreciate you very much indeed. So
but Laura Toon Wifey, I need your dress.
Laura,
details.
don't. This is just for the prize, by the way. If you after this, if you hear the Mighty Wayne asking for your address, do not give it to him.
So you need email me at tmw@nufctalk.tv. tmw
if you got a PO box,
nufctalk.
If you got a PO box, much better. Don't give Win your address. Steady on Win. There you go, baby. There you go. Hey, Coloccini is the only center back I know to break his back doing a bicycle kick in his own half. Hey. Listen, man. Exactly. Exactly. Coloccini, Argentina international for a long time. How many caps did Woodgate get? using wins then burn argument. Oh, there you go, baby. Come on. Woodgate was good as far as up-and-coming talent. He wasn't good for Real Madrid. He wasn't good. He was good for Newcastle one season. That ain't got nothing to do with comparing him with a guy that played for the Toon many, many times, the worst times playing for Newcastle, and he was outstanding. Coloccini, all day, every day, baby. So anyways, we will see you tonight on the Party Night Show. Put the money in the jukebox, song night, party night. We're going to start doing that, by the way, as far as like suggestion that we do a romantic week, a rock week, a disco week and all that stuff to make it fun. We didn't do that this week, but we're going to start putting up a poll. So hopefully that works for next week. But tonight, we're just going to freelance, get gunning, and partying.
Knowing all our viewers, it'll be rock, rock, rock all the way.
Knowing our viewers, maybe so. But we'll see you tonight, 2 p.m. more than likely. So stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. How way the lads, lasses, and bands. And we shall see you tonight, folks. Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
How way the lads.